Hello and welcome, Math 1325 Internet students. My name is Robert D. Giovanni. I'm the instructor for this course, and this is an orientation video designed to get you acquainted with how this course is set up and the requirements, things you're supposed to do. Hopefully I will answer most of your questions in this video. You are required to watch this video. Sometimes students get into the habit of just kind of jumping through the video, not actually watching everything. Then later on they ask me a question and I say, hey, didn't you watch the video? It's in the video. So please take the time out of your day to watch this video from front to back. Don't skip around, please. All right, so hopefully you're familiar with Northwest Vista's main website. To get to our course, what you're going to need to do is log into ACES. So click on that tab there. And then you put in your username and password. If you don't know your username, you can click here, and then you can also get your password. Once you have your username, you can go here to get your password. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my information. No, that's not it. I haven't logged in a while. Let's try that. There we go. Okay, once you're here, you'll click on this tab, My Courses, and then you'll come down this list. You'll make sure you're looking at Spring 2016, and then find your course in here, which is this Business Calculus Math 1325, Section 24. Your other courses you're registered in will appear here also. So go ahead and click that. And this will connect you to what's called Canvas. And this looks new this semester. If you're familiar with Canvas in the last few semesters, this has now got a new look to it. Let me go ahead and, I'm afraid to publish the course. Let me go ahead and publish it. So that way it'll kind of look like what you'll see. Okay, so this is the main course. Now over here, all these different things, you know, I'll let you go through these on your own as far as like the quick guide and technical help. The main thing here, let's start with, is your inbox. Your inbox is where you're going to check your email. If I send you something, or if I send the entire class something, it will appear in that inbox. And so you'll see a little number there if you've got unread emails. As you can see, I have 7 unread emails. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. This is our official way of communicating. All right, so even though you'll see in a little while I'm gonna give you my cell phone number, but you're free to use that. But if you want to ever officially communicate with me, it needs to be done through this email system. So when you look at these emails, if you see a little blue dot next to the email, it means you haven't read it. Let me see it, or a dot next to it. You can see here I've got an email I haven't read, and so if you've read it, there won't be a dot there. Now, if you want to write an email to me, what you do is you hit Compose Email. You select the course, which would be 1324. And then on the To line, you click over here on this icon, and you find me, Teachers, and Robert D. Giovanni. And then you write in your subject, whatever it is, and go ahead and click the Send Individual Message. If you want to attach a file, you can attach a file here. You can actually attach a video if you have a webcam and you've set it up. And then go ahead and put in your message, and then you click Send, and that'll send it to me. So that's the official way that you will communicate with me. This is the official way I will communicate with you. My emails to you will appear over here. Okay, let's go back to your courses. Let's go back to our main page. And now let's go ahead and go through the class. So we have these over here, these links. Everything that's kind of grayed out here you will not see. We're in a teacher's view. You know what? There used to be a way that I could just look at this as a student view. See if I can find that real quick. Student view. There's the student view. There we go. Student view. So this way it'll look, okay, this is exactly the way it'll look for you. So first of all, on the main page, there's a big reminder here. There's a website called My Labs, which is where you go to do all of your homework and quizzes and your online exams. And you must register there. You must pay to get into that. I will show you all that in a minute. There's a deadline, though, and it's 3 p.m. on Thursday, the 21st of January. If you are not registered in that system, I don't see you appear in that system by this deadline, then you'll be dropped from the course. So just FYI. You'll also need an access code to get into that website. I just put it here for convenience. There's an orientation video, which is the one that you're watching right now. I will link it here later in case you need to go back and watch it. The schedule, which lays out, day by day how the course is going to work, and then here's a link to get you to that My Labs so you can go do your work. All right, that's the main page, and I'll go through the schedule and this link in a minute. But let's get straight to the syllabus. All right. Okay, so the syllabus here shows the dates of the semester, and let's start here with meeting times. Even though this is an online course, we actually do meet twice this semester. We're going to meet on Friday, March 11th at 9 a.m. Okay, you're supposed to be there at 9, and we have until 12 o'clock to finish the exam. And that's going to be for exam 2. That's kind of like the midterm. That's going to be in Juniper Hall, room 111A. That's on Northwest Vista's campus. And then again, we meet on May 13th, 9 a.m. again. You'll have till noon, same location, and that's for exam 4, and that's the final exam. If you live out of town, you are allowed to take exam 2 or 4 remotely, which means wherever it is that you live. Or if for some reason you can't make this exam, you're allowed to take the exam somewhere else. But it is up to you, okay? You will need to secure a proctor for the exam. And that means that you have to go out and find a local school, a local library, somewhere that you have someone that's willing to administer the exam for you. Sometimes you can find that, people who are willing to do it for free. Sometimes you have to pay for this service. Just depends on where you go. Northwest Vista has a testing center, but they have limited hours. So I will leave it to you. The responsibility is yours to find the location and the proctor for the exam. The proctor must allow computer access, and then once you have found the proctor, okay, you're going to email me the proctor's contact information. So I need to know the name of the person who's willing to proctor it. I need their email address. I need their phone number, and I need their affiliation. So, maybe it's UTSA's testing center, and some person there, and you give me their contact information. Once I have their contact information, I will take it from there. I'll contact them. I'll make sure everything looks legit. I will send them all the information they need for the exam. I will get back to you, and I will let you know that everything's a go, and we'll confirm the date and the time and things like that. So there is one other thing about this proctoring. So if you cannot make these 2 exams, you have to give me this information about the proctor, their email information, all that. You must give me 2 weeks heads up. So 2 weeks before this exam, 2 weeks before this exam, you must give me the information. If you do not give me the information with 2 weeks notice, then I will not be able to accommodate you. So that means you will have to show up to these. If you don't, then you'll take a 0 on those tests, which will be devastating for your grades. So make sure you're on top of things here, and take care of this in the time that I've told you need to do it. All right, so my contact information, this is the math department's contact information. My information, my email address is here, but like I showed you before, we're going to communicate using this inbox, but just in case, here's an alternate email. My office location, my cell phone number. So again, you're allowed to contact me through my cell phone. Feel free to text me. Make sure, though, that you include who you are. So put your name, put what class you're in, and then make sure you're clear about what it is that I can do to help you, or if you just need to let me know something. But I need to know who you are and what class you're in. All right, my office hours. So these are times that you could come in and get some help. Even though this is an online course, you might be taking some classes. You might be taking some other classes at Northwest Vista. So on Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 a.m. to 12:45, I'm in my office. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 10:45, I'm in my office. On Fridays, I have some time, but you have to make an appointment with me. So I should be available from 9:30 to noon, but make an appointment by emailing me, and I'll let you know, make sure that I'm going to be there and things like that. Okay, so as far as what you need for the class, you do not need to buy a book. You're going to be purchasing a code to get into a class, and I'm going to go through that with you here in a minute. But important thing, do not buy a book. All right, the book will be contained online for you. You also must have a scientific calculator, and you must have a three-ring binder. Okay, so I recommend you get a 2 to 3 inch binder. This is where you're going to keep all of your information. I have a table of contents for this binder. I'll show you where that is. And this binder must be turned in at exam 4, which is the final, in order for any of your online work to count. It's very important. If you do not have a binder when the final comes, then everything that you've done online will be counted as a 0. You must have handwritten work for all your quizzes and exams. No work, no credit. If you work hard on this binder, keep everything nice, neat, and in order, and include everything I've asked, you can actually get bonus points in the class for having a good binder. But remember, if you don't have a binder, nothing counts. All right, course description. So, this is business calculus. There's going to be some calculus in here. But it's kind of a tamed down version of Cal 1. So this in no way is a substitute for the course Calculus 1. It's a business-focused class. Prerequisites are here. Objectives are here. I'll let you read through that. Outcomes are here. Let's get down to the grade. Standard grading scale, A, B, C, D, and F. There's no IP in this course. This is a college-level course. So those are the grades that I can administer. These are the only grades that I have an option for giving you. And here's the way that the grade is broken down. You're going to do homework. This is all done online. That's 15% of your grade. You're going to do quizzes. These are all online. Those are 20% of your grade. You have an exam that you do at home, which is 10% of your grade. The on-campus exam, that's exam 2, is 20%. At-home exam is 10. On-campus, again, 20. And then the binder that you're supposed to keep, this is a free 5 points as long as you keep the binder. So that's 5% of your grade. All right, so what are the policies of this course? Well, first of all, you have to watch this video. All right, that's the first thing. You also have to do homework. I'm going to go through and show you how the homework works. This explains that you get multiple chances at each problem. It talks a little bit about the due date. Just know that whenever a homework assignment is due, it's due at 11:59 that day. And also, if you miss the due date, there's an automatic 5% penalty for each day it's late. So if the assignment is due on, let's say, Thursday, and you do it on Friday, and you get, let's say, 100 on it, it's going to automatically be a 95 because it's a day late. So just keep that in mind. And each day it's 5% more. Quizzes, same thing. There will be quizzes each week, maybe every other week. It just depends. Again, the quizzes are due at 11:59. I'll show you how those quizzes work as far as how many tries you get. The one difference between the quizzes and homework is that you have to have your handwritten work. All right, so you must write down each problem and show all the work in order for it to be counted. I'm not as big as for you having the problem as much as I need you to have the work. I can always go back to the computer and look at the problem, but I need your work in order for me to count the grade. And those are going to be included in your binder, so you put all that work in your binder. Now, the on-campus, that was for quizzes and for, sorry, I kind of jumped ahead there. For quizzes and exams, the same thing applies. Write down everything you do. Now, the on-campus exams, you have to come on campus for. You are allowed to use a cheat sheet, and here are the specifications on the cheat sheet. Okay, make sure you read through this carefully. You must also write down all your work for each problem on the on-campus exam. So when you come on campus take this test, you're going to do it on a computer, but you still have to write down all your work. Now, before each on-campus exam, only exams 2 and 4, I will put a review in your course compass, which is where you do all your work. These are part of your grades, so make sure you do those reviews. Okay, if you miss an exam, you need to contact me so we can figure out how we're going to handle it. Sometimes I'll let you do a test late. It just depends on your excuse. I'll usually require some documentation, such as doctor's note or something like that. Technical support, if you have any problems getting into the system and doing homework, then here's a 1-800 number that you can call for technical assistance. Because it's an online course, I try and respond to your emails to me within 24 hours, but just keep in mind that the quickest way to get in touch with me is my cell phone. Also, there's a button called Ask My Instructor, which you can use when you're doing homework that will give me an immediate email that refers me to the problem. So that's another quick way of getting in touch with me. Some common sense stuff. If you don't want to be in this class, make sure you go through the process of dropping the course. Do not assume that I will drop you. Make sure everything you're doing online is within, the framework of the course. Don't be sending people links to, whatever, videos on YouTube or something that have nothing to do with the class. I am a human being. I understand that life sometimes gets in the way of school. If there is something in your life that is affecting your performance in school, I encourage you to contact me. I will try and work with you, as best as I can to keep you up to speed and, give you some extensions if need be. One thing that comes to mind is a student who had, in the past, she had lost her child. I'm not quite sure what happened, but her child had passed away, and this happened about 4 weeks before the end of the term, and she never contacted me and let me know, and she came to the final, and she was, visibly in just a bad place, and I pulled her aside and asked her, if everything was okay, and she told me, and I was in shock. I couldn't believe that she was on campus trying to take a final exam just a few weeks after she had lost her child. So things like that, just get in touch with me, and I'll do what I can to make your life a little bit easier. All right, as far as learning in this class, I'm going to kind of take you through this when I get into the actual place where you go to learn, but that just kind of summarizes different techniques on how to learn on this course. Just remember that there's no one way that works for every online student when it comes to learning mathematics. One thing that works for one person may not work for another. So make sure that you find what works best for you. And if you are having trouble with that, figuring out what's working, I encourage you to contact me so I can kind of give you some pointers as to what you can do. If you need help, there's a couple of different ways to do it. You can there's a discussion board for the class. Again, you can ask me questions by using the Ask Instructor button. You can email me. There's free tutoring on campus. And then there's my cell phone number. So just remember that you're not alone here. My job as an internet instructor is to be there to assist you. One of the biggest mistakes that students make is they just don't ask for help. And then by the time they realize they need help, it's too late. We're too far into the term, and they're too far behind. So please feel free to reach out and ask for help. All right, so there's some stuff about scholastic dishonesty, cheating, and things like that. Make sure you're aware of tutoring, different tutoring centers on campus. Some stuff here about state drop rules and things like that. And then the schedule. Now, I would not recommend you go off the schedule. It's kind of hard to read, but that's the way when I put the schedule into this syllabus, that's the only format I could get. So I have to have it there. So there it is. And then here's some additional stuff that you can read through. It's institutional policies and some stuff about getting a degree, an associate's degree at a 2-year school, the advantages of doing that. All right, so let's get back to our home screen. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this schedule now. And when you click on that, it's going to download it to your computer. I recommend you take this and you print it out. So this shows you kind of a day-by-day, blow-by-blow, what's due, when it's due. And I have them separated, things separated by color. So anytime there's a change in date, there's a change in the color. It goes from white to gray. So your first deadline is this Thursday. You have a homework assignment. It's called Homework 0, and it's called the Attendance Verification and Syllabus Confirmation. So I'll show you that homework here in a second, but just be aware of the deadline. It's this Thursday, the January 21st. Then you have your first homework assignment, which is due on Monday, the 25th. Then notice that a week later, on February 1st, you have 3 assignments due, Homework 2, Homework 3, and Quiz 1. Now, I want you to pay attention to these homework assignments the way that they're written here. Homework 1 covers Chapter 1, Section 2, Chapter 2, Section 1, Chapter 2, Section 3. Homework 2 covers Chapter 2, Section 1. Homework 3 covers Chapter 10, Section 1. And then Quiz 1 covers Chapter 1, Section 2, Chapter 2, Section 1, Chapter 2, Section 3, and Chapter 10, Section 1. So these numbers here at the end tell you the chapter and then the section of the book that this material is coming from. Then a week later, you have another set of homeworks due. A week later, you have a homework, and a quiz. Then, look at this, just a few days later, right, 2 days after this, on the Wednesday, you have your first online exam. And it's basically going to cover information that was on Quiz 1 and Quiz 2. And then the rest of the semester works out the same way. So you can just kind of follow this, and you'll get to, let's see here, Friday, March 11th, you have 2 things due. You have a homework assignment, which is the Exam 2 review, and then also this is the day that you come on campus to take Exam 2. And then we have a spring break. That's why there's a huge jump here. We have spring break right after this, and then you've got homework, and then you've got homework and a quiz, and then you've got homework. Wait a minute, hold on. Whoa, that spring break got misplaced. Oops, that spring break belongs up here. I need to go back and fix that. And then keep going. We have Exam 3 here, which is done online, and then the final exam. So that's it, and I'll fix that spring break thing. Sorry about that. Please do not try and get into a habit of, let's say for this deadline, don't come in here on Monday morning and say, okay, I'm going to do Homework 2, Homework 3, and Quiz 1. The idea here is that this is a week's worth of material, and so you should be chipping away at it slowly throughout the week. And I can pull up students' records, and I can see when they were online, how long they were looking at things, and students who wait and procrastinate just don't do well in these courses. So please take that warning seriously. Do not procrastinate. Do not wait till the last minute. You will find yourself in a very bad position in this course. All right, so there's your schedule. Print it out. And now let's go ahead and go to where you do your work. So you click here. Now I can take you through some of this process, but not the whole thing. What you're going to do is you're going to click on, you want to register. Now, once you register, you're going to click on Sign In, but if you're not registered, you click on Student. And then it's going to ask you, do you have an email address? Of course you do. You can use your alamo.edu email address. Your course ID, that was this number right here, or this code. I'm going to just copy it right here. And then do you have an access code or a credit card? So if you go to the bookstore, you can buy an access code, but it's more expensive. The credit card, you just use it right here online. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. I'm ready. And it asks for the course ID. So I'm going to just paste that in there. Continue. And then it says, do you want to create a new account, or do you already have one? So if you've already taken some online courses before, you probably already have one, and you can go ahead and do that. If not, you can create one. So let me see if I can create one. That's going to be tough. I'm going to use some going, oh, yeah, it says I already have one. Darn it. Okay, well, I'm not going to be able to use it. So, but you would go through this, you create your account, and then at some point it's going to ask you for a credit card. So let me try and go back here. Let me just use one of these. Let's see if this works. Perfect. Okay, so once you've created an account, or if you already have an account, it'll take you to this page. So remember I said if you go to the bookstore, you'll get an access code. If you had that, you just do it here. You click in, you put in the code, you're in business. If not, use use your credit card. Click here, and you can get into the course by paying with your credit card, which I'm not going to go through. It's about $100. That's really all the materials you need for the class. I mean, so that's cheaper than buying a book, but that's your only option at this point. Okay, you're not going to be able to get this any cheaper. Now, if you're not sure if this course is for you, like if you really are sure you're going to do an online math course, what you can do is you can get temporary access. This will give you 14 days to be in the class, but after that 14 days is up, you've got to come in and pay. And it'll warn you. It'll keep telling you, hey, you have 8 days left, you have 5 days left. But please pay attention to that, because if you get past the 14 days, it creates a disaster. Because whatever account you were using, what you were doing work on, you have to create a whole new account, and it's just really a mess. So if you use the temporary access, that's fine. Make sure, though, that you pay within that 14-day period. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to get temporary access. Are you sure you want temporary access? Yes. Uh-oh. Didn't work. Might be because I'm an instructor. It's not allowing me to. That's probably the problem. Are you sure you want temporary access? Yes. Yeah, it's because I'm an instructor. Hopefully it'll work for you. But that will get you into the course, and that's how you register. So I'm hoping everyone will just use a credit card, or go to the bookstore, get the access code, or try that temporary thing. Okay, so let me go back now. I'm going to close that out. I'm going to go back in. And now that I've got my account set up, I'm going to sign in. Go ahead and put in my user information, my password. And then on the left-hand side here, you should see Math 1325 NVC Spring 2016 Di Giovanni. That's us. That's our class. So I'm going to click on it. And then let me see if I can, let's see, I don't believe I can look at this as a student. Everything that you'll see, or all these little cross out, this little person crossed out, you won't see these. All you're going to see is course home, multimedia library, homework, quizzes, and gradebook. So let's take a look at this first course home page. This up here is a calendar. You can kind of flip through it week by week. You can see, hover over this, you can see your first assignment, that homework 0. You can go in here, you could click on it and do it. Or you can go and look at, let's see, the next deadline's on that Monday, the 25th. Or here, you got homework 2 and quiz 1. So you can kind of see what's coming up. Also, it lists out the upcoming assignments here and gives you a countdown timer when the next one's due. Now, if this is your first time using this system, then you'll probably want to run a browser check. This browser check just makes sure your computer has what it needs in order to do the problems online. And then how to enter answers. This is extremely important if you've never used this system. Please click on that, go through the tutorial. That'll show you exactly how you'll put in weird math symbols and little special things to pay attention to when you're putting in your answers. And then here's some stuff. You don't really need to look at these. Over here on the right side is going to start showing your results as far as grades are concerned. So you don't have anything there yet. So, all right, that's our home page. Now, let's take a look at the multimedia library. This is where you can get to your electronic book. Okay, so here's the book we're using. It's College Mathematics for Business. We're using the 12th edition. I believe there's a new edition out, but we're still using the 12th. So remember on that schedule, let me see, where was it? remember the first homework 1 was over 1.2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the book to chapter 1, section 2, graphs and lines. And I'm going to look at not just the book, I think I'm going to look at everything. So if there are any videos or PowerPoints for this section, I'm going to bring them up. And here it is. So there's videos here, there's the book. So let me bring up the book first. And here it is. So this is the first, where's the first page of that? Did I go too far? Whoa, why am I in 3? Did I bring up 3 too? 1.2. That didn't take me to the right place, did it? That's weird. Let me try this again. That was no good. Multimedia textbook. Part 2, Chapter 3, Math of Finance. What the heck? Contents. Chapter 1. 1.2, Graphs and Lines. Yeah, I'm not sure why that did that. Chapter 1, Section 2. Hopefully that's the only one that's messed up. But okay, so here's the book. You can increase the size of that so you can read it. And then you can even print out pages. You just can't print the whole book at one time. I think it limits you to how many pages you can print at one time. But so what you could do here is start reading through the book, which is part of the requirement of this course. This is an online course, so you've got to do a lot of self-teaching here. I'm going to forward this here. So we go through, here's more stuff, and then we'll get to an example eventually here. Here's example 1. So remember when we were looking at this, there were some different things here. There were some videos. So the video here is also linked in the book. So this example right here is going to be worked out on video. I haven't checked this in a while.
In the following problem, we're asked to graph a line by finding the x and y intercepts. Let's take a look at the problem. Here is going to be to find the x and minus 4y equals 12.
But please notice that this question right here matches up with that question in the book. And so the video goes on.
So my first, setting both sides by 3,
done by hand, as you can see. So you should be able to work, go through the book, watch each, read and then look at each example and watch a video for each example. And there's a video for every example in this book. So that's your multimedia library. I hope that makes sense to you. This is where you can navigate through your book. And then you get to your homework. So let's go ahead and click on homework. And now when I click on homework, it just brings up a list of all of the homework here. Instead of looking at homework, I'm going to click on show all. Show all shows every assignment in this class. And right now I'm only looking at the first 20 out of 38 assignments. I'm going to view all on one page. And this pretty much lists out the entire semester right here. This is everything. Every homework, every quiz, every test. So if I were coming in here, I would start, let's see, I have a deadline of the 21st to do this. Homework attendance. It's reminding me I have to do this before I can begin any of these homeworks. It's just a 1-question homework assignment. And it says, let's see, what's the question? Syllabus confirmation. I've read the syllabus and watched the orientation video. I understand all requirements. That's the correct answer. I have not read the syllabus and or watched the orientation video. That's the wrong answer. That just lets me know you're here, you understand the requirements in the course, you're ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, save it. Until you checked your answer. Oh, check the answer. There we go. Fantastic. Got it right. Save it. And I'm done. So now I'm going to go back to homework. I'm going to show everything again. view everything on one page. For some reason, it doesn't show my score here, so I have to click on that, and it's not showing a score. Why isn't it showing a score? Maybe because I'm an instructor. No, it says current score is 100. I'm not sure why it didn't show it. It's probably because I'm an instructor. It's not showing it. All right, so now let's get to the homework, all right? So remember, I'm going to do homework, 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 then quiz. That quiz will cover these homeworks. So I'm going to go to homework 1. There are 8 questions in this. Let's see. I get a 5% penalty if I don't complete it or if I complete it after the due date. I can complete each question 4 times. So let's take a look at what that means. Let's go to question 1. So remember, I've read the book. I'm kind of have an idea what's going on here. I look at this, a plant manufactures 50 golf clubs, blah, 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 blah. I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, I don't remember seeing that. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to bring up a video, the textbook. And this should take me to the section in the book that covers this. So I bring up the book. See, I'm in 1.2. I can go in here and I kind of fish through this thing. I can try and find where there was something like that in there. Okay, so maybe there's a problem in here that is similar to this. A video. The video should take me to a problem, hopefully, that's similar to it. Let's see what it does.
In the following work, we're going to start off with the 2 given points, and we are going to, the theory of this section is to assume that this is a linear function.
So remember, again, this is not a good video as far as reading that, but that problem matches up with an example in the book, so you can always read it out of the ebook. So you watch a video, that might help you with this. Let's say you still don't know. You can view an example. This will bring up a different problem that's similar to this one up here, just change some numbers. And then what it'll do is it'll take you through step by step. It says, since the cost is this, one ordered pair would be this, and then it continues and it explains and goes through and then at the end gives you the final result and you're done. It says, okay, I hope that helped. So you come in here, part A, assuming the cost of this, let's put in an answer. So I put it in. It says I'm wrong. So nothing happens. I can try a different answer. Nope, says I'm wrong still. Come in here, put a different answer. Nope, on the 3rd time I got it wrong, okay, it actually tells me, nope, your answer was 63, the correct answer was this, and that's it. I have to move on. Okay, so now I'm going to do this. I'm going to check the answer. Nope, it's wrong. Try this one. On multiple choice, if there's 4 choices, you get 2 tries at it. That's it. Nope, I got it wrong. On this one, got it right. Okay, so as you can see here on this first problem, I got part of it right and part of it wrong, which is why there's a little check and an X up there. And now I have officially attempted this problem 1 time. Because this is a homework problem, I'm allowed to click similar exercise. Or if I was happy with it, I can move on to number 2 by clicking 2. That would move me on to number 2. Or I could go back to number 1. I could say, you know what, I wasn't happy with that. Let me do a similar exercise. It's going to change the problem, give me a new one to work on, and I can go through and do the same thing. I get 3 chances at this, and I'm not going to do it again, but I get 3 chances on each problem, except if it's multiple choice, then it's a little different. And then if, let's say I do this and I get them all wrong, then that would be my 2nd attempt at number 1. You can actually attempt each one of these problems 4 times. It's homework. It's designed to help you learn. It's designed to help you practice. So there's really not a big reason for you to do poorly on a homework unless you really don't understand the problem. So if you really don't understand the problem, you can actually have the computer solve that problem for you. If you do that, though, it's going to count. It's going to go through this problem, but it's going to count this as 1 attempt. So you go through this, it's going to ask you some intermediate things here, and you try and figure it out. But once you do it, it's now going to count this as a 2nd attempt. So it's changed the problem again, and now I'm on my 3rd attempt. So I can do, remember, 4 tries on each problem. So the help me solve this is nice, but you're still eventually going to have to solve a problem on your own. Now, if you're really, really stuck, what you could do maybe is print out the problem. You could print out the problem or the entire homework assignment. Maybe take it to the tutoring lab, get some help. Or you can ask me. So if you click Ask My Instructor, all you have to do here is put in, you don't have to tell me what the problem is, I'm already going to know. You just need to tell me what you're struggling with. So like, I don't understand part B, where it's asking me to do this, blah, blah, blah. But try and be specific. Don't just be like, I have no idea. Give me something to work with, all right? Then you send that to me and I'll get that. So that's how you do your homework. You work through each problem and hopefully get a good score. Let's see, save the best score. So at any point in time you can save and come back, work on it later. You don't have to do it all in one sitting. And that's it. Okay, so that's how the homework works. Now I'm going to show all again. Now remember, you have a quiz also. All right, so like after you do your homework, so let's look at a quiz. So what's the difference between a homework and a quiz? Well, let's see. The big difference is that there's no help over here. You're going to do a problem. You're going to select your answers. You're going to go to the next question. And you're going to do that for each one. And you're not going to know your score until the end. You're not going to know if you got them right or wrong until the end. So I'm just going to go ahead and submit the quiz. It's going to warn me that I haven't answered some questions, but I'm going to submit it. That's it. Oh my goodness, I did terrible. So I can go back and right now I can review. Okay, so that's the good thing about this. I can go back, I can look at the quiz. I can say, hey, look, what happened here? Notice that part A, there's a little red little triangle in the corner there. If I hover over it, it'll show me what I answered. I put 3 in. The answer was 80x plus 1,659. I was way off. All right, but you can kind of get an idea of immediate feedback on what you got right and wrong. So that's good. Now you'd work through, keep going through homework, quizzes, homework. Now you get to the, oh, I forgot to tell you, on the quiz, you get 3 tries. So I got that first quiz, I got a 0. So I go through here now and do my second attempt. On my second attempt, they're just going to be new problems. Okay, so they're going to change. They'll be similar, but they're not the same problems you just took for quiz the first attempt. Okay, so you get 3 tries at each quiz. Leave the page. Now, when you get to the online exams, now that's where things change. So when you get to an exam, you only get 1 try at this. So it's just like a quiz. As far as the format, there's no help. You got to go through the problems, click next question, but you get 1 shot at this, so you want to take your time. And that's it. I mean, that's the way it works. I mean, there's nothing more to this course. You're going to have your grades here. Okay, so you can come in here and take a look at your grades. This is a nice little thing to keep in mind, though. Like if you ever want to go back and look at a homework assignment that you did before, like you're trying to practice your reviewing for the on-campus exam or something, you can go back and look at your grades. And if you go into the homework assignments here and you click review, you'll actually be able to go in and look at your attempt, and you can actually continue and make changes to this, but it will not affect your grade. So you could go to like number 2, even though I hadn't done it. I can just I can work through this and make changes. Nothing's going to affect my grade. So it's a good place to go in and take a look at old stuff without affecting your score. So it even says it here, changes will not affect your score. And that's it. Those are the only things in here that you'll see. Everything else won't be there. So that's where you do your work. So I'm going to close that out and come back over here to our main page. Schedule we looked at, how to get to your work. So let's look at the other things in here. We looked at the syllabus, grades. Now, I showed you already your grades over in the other system. I will bring those grades over here to Canvas after exam 2 after exam 1, 2, 3, and 4. So after each exam, I will bring your grades over here so you kind of can look at it through Canvas instead. Just keep in mind that until the exams, your grades will reside over there in that other system. Discussions. I have a discussion here if you want to talk to your classmates about the class, like, hey, what about the binder? I'm confused on it. You can post something here. Everyone in the class will see it. You can also ask questions, help each other out. I encourage you to use this, but in my history of teaching online, unless I force you to come here and tell you it's part of your grade, it's hard to get students to participate. So when it comes to like bonus in this class, if you participate on the discussion board, if you're in here and you're helping each other out, you're asking questions, you're answering other students' questions, every time you do that, I will include that as bonus in the class. All right, files. This is an important link. Bring up files. You'll see a couple of things here. Oh, I have a schedule there I need to get rid of. Let me get rid of that real quick. My old schedule was in there. Delete that. Okay, so what you'll see in here is the schedule, and we've already downloaded that. Your binder table of contents. So let me go ahead and take a look at that. I'm going to download this actually. So go ahead and print this out. This should be the first page you put in your binder. Put your name on it, what class you're in, and then what I want in this binder. There should be several sections. You should have in the first section what's called the error log and any cheat sheets. So the cheat sheets are the cheat sheets you're going to use on the exams. The error log, I will show you that in a second. Your handwritten homework. So you are not required to write down all your homework, but if you do it as bonus. Quizzes you must have, clearly labeled and separated, nice and neat. I should be able to find quiz 1, quiz 2, quiz 3 very easily. Remember I said that the neater your binder is, the more it's worth, so you can get bonus. Handwritten exams, again, clearly labeled and separated. Exam reviews, and then the exams clearly labeled and separated. And then remember I said that if you do discussion board postings, if you print them out and put them in here, I'll give you bonus. So make sure that that's your first page of your binder. Let me show you that error log. That's the next file that was in here. The error log you'll want to print out. So this is a sheet that the computer sometimes will get really picky about your answer. So you might put in an answer and forget to put a comma or something like that. If the computer is counting something wrong that you think you deserve credit for, it doesn't matter what it is. Instead of calling me or emailing me and freaking out, just put it in this log, and what I will do is I will go through at the end of the semester and I will fix the grade. Okay, I will go back through there and I will adjust the grade for you. But there's a catch. You must have handwritten work in your binders to support this. So if you're saying, let's say you forgot a comma when you typed in the answer, then when I go and I look at homework 3, number 4, you should have a problem written down. I should be able to see your comma in your answer. So do this, keep this in your binder and turn it in when you turn in your binder at exam 4. All right, so let's go back here. People, this is, we're getting to the end of the stuff here. These are just going to show your classmates. If you need to email them, you can actually find them here and email them. And then the last thing is BrainFuse Online Tutoring. This is something that the school just recently started using. It's supposed to be 24 hours, 7 days a week math tutoring, and it's like whiteboard. You can talk to a tutor. These tutors are not linked to Northwest Vista, so I don't know. Try it out. I'm not sure how it's been working. I'd love to hear some feedback. If any students use it, tell me if it was beneficial or not. So I'm not going to click on that. Just be aware that that's free online tutoring for you. All right. So I think that's about it. Yeah, this is the entire course in a nutshell. I hope I answered most of your questions. Just remember that this deadline, you've got to have yourself enrolled in that MyLabs website by that date and time. If not, you're going to be dropped from the class. And if you have any further questions, feel free to contact me via email or through my cell phone. All right, I hope we have a good semester. I'll see you at exam 2.